Libra or cross watcher, I'm doing a reading for you guys today. Um, Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into it. Libra, I want to talk about myself. And it's been more than a 7-day process. But today, technically, would be the fourth day. The fourth day of creation. But really, for myself, Libra, I want to talk about it on a smaller scale, and then more importantly, royalty, divinity, giving one child the world, and just where it all started. And it's connected to Britain, a proper Windsor, Batten House or Battenmore, um, the King, Harry, um, William, and even Megan, the child that was given. And just how far back it's been. But it starts with the father. It starts with Libra energy. So let's get into it. Hold on. I know y'all can see me, but hold on, I gotta check something out. Okay, got your teething ring. Okay. So Libra, I want to talk about the garden state. The garden state. For me, I saw nothing but oak wood, oak trees, and me trying to take care of that said garden. But that garden, in the life that I was actually trying to take care of, trying to not ever see behind bars or jailed, it has a lot to do with Leo. It has a lot to do with blood. But that said, blood tried to lock the door on me. It already was bad dooring me. Yeah. But it tried to lock the door on me, whether it was purposefully or accidental. But I still managed to get in. And the thing is, when I started working with the wood, with the oak trees, as the caretaker, and trying to protect someone that I looked at as like a king of kings, someone that I looked at like a possible reverend, a spiritual leader. I didn't then, but someone that needed to be cared for because it was just animal in a way. I mean, it was a part of the circle of life, but I do feel like it was an animal kingdom. It started off by eating this forbidden fruit. And because I was so elevated and it was on the ground and I wasn't able to actually stop it. I wasn't able to reach into the being's mouth and pull out the fruit. By the time I had noticed or witnessed, afterwards what had happened, it was already too late. That said forbidden fruit, that fairy, whatever it was already consumed and gone. And I was highly upset, Libra, highly upset, because I didn't want it to kill, poison, or make my little one sick. So, but there was nothing that we could do but continue along the path. But I was very upset. I was very upset. But I never kicked the child out. Well, it's not technically my child, but I look at it like my child. I never kicked it out, but it was like my last born. I had three other children, technically, before I got to this child that had this forbidden fruit. But it evolved so very quickly. I kid you not, Libra. After it ate that forbidden fruit, it started to put on clothes. It put on a shawl. It put on clothes. I didn't even know where it got that material, where it got that cloth, where it, to even be cut from a different cloth, to even have, I didn't even know where it had got it. But then it had that. But afterwards, Libra, I let things go. I let things go. I let things be with Jacob. I let things be how they were meant to be. But after that, I came back. I came back because this is the order that it happened for me with this king. I came back and I provided that said king energy with the rib. I provided him a rib. And he became very territorial of his said rib. And I got that rib, but that rib represented David. That rib represented another child of mine, an older child. That rib came before that man. I know that it doesn't seem like it, but it came before that man. He just wasn't privy to it. I just had not gave it to him as a possession. But it would be tied to Victor or Isaac or Jacob or whoever in the Game of Thrones. But that masculine energy, that king energy, like a Scorpio, became very territorial over that said rib. To the point he started to vocalize with me the way that he could in an aggressive manner. Like, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. He didn't even recognize it as a gift from God. He only recognized that rib as his plaything, his rib, his. But it's like, excuse me, that rib came before you did. I just, technically, Jimmy, Gabriel, Lord, I just did not, you get it, bring it to the world of wonder. Alice, Grandmama, High Priestess, I just did not provide it. I didn't feel like he was ready. But after that, you know, someone that I provided wings to, because the word had died. So, I don't know, fucking silenced. I don't know. That person that I had provided wings to, even though it was sad for me to have to do that, because they're like, we have to fight for temperance. We have to fight for equilibrium against the devil. They took the rib away. They took the rib away. I never took the rib away. I didn't really care. It is what it is. But most recently, within these 4 days of creation, there has been a lot that has been happening. I've seen this King Charles energy go from wearing a diaper to being a father. A father to like a little, almost black child. I can't believe it. Okay. But I want to kind of talk about how it even happened. The said energy, the said master energy that received that rib, he also received bread. Bread. You can say bread from heaven if you want to. Manna, he received it. money, finances, wealth. Um, but just like his said rib, it became his property. He started to vocalize to me again in the same way that he vocalized about his rib. It's mine, 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 mine. He became very territorial over his bread, his money, his bread from heaven. Um, but before that, bread, I gave a masculine energy a ball. The world. It didn't initially belong to the king. It belonged to an energy like Gadriel. It belonged to that energy that was there deciding who gets in and who doesn't. Believe it or not. But that energy betrayed me and it fell. And now it's a part of this battle with children lost in the in between. But I gave the masculine energy the world, and along with the world, I gave the masculine energy bread, mama, and everything else. And he became very territorial. Mine, 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 mine. Now, I did have to hit him upside the head a couple of times to let him know that he could have had a freaking V8. Right? But he got the picture. But after I gave him his bread, the Muffin Man, and he was fed like the mother and child with the dragon, I gave him a boot. I didn't give him the boot as far as get out. No, because when he does get out, I'm always there with him. I walk with him. It's not safe to have him walk alone. I gave him the boot, i.e. a bootstrap, to pull himself up by the bootstrap. But that bootstrap that I gave that king was of nobility. It was connected to the house of David. David literally had walked in those said shoes. The word had walked in those same shoes. Someone that is like mom is walked in them same shoes. They're like, give me liberty or give me death. Had walked in those same shoes. An influencer walked, a child, the son, walked in those shoes. I gave it to someone like King Charles, who's like a cowboy or rebel. He had that. He even had a Trinity effect. He had magic as well. But after that, I thought that he was ready to become a father. Because I realized something, that he had a fear. He had a fear of blue. He had a fear of Jesus. He had a fear of a cancer sign. So because he had a fear of a cancer sign, Libra, I gave King Charles, a child. That child literally descended from a higher plane of being. But the child is a doll. It's just a doll. It's a daughter. But it belonged. It was like the daughter to like an angelic being that literally had wings. It was literally the world, but it's like the brown, black world, the mixed world. And it's so weird, Libra, because I've literally seen my little shadow moon, my little puppy. I've literally seen him grow into a father. I mean, as much as he could make it, as much. But it's so weird because he's changed his diaper, he's wiped it, he's taken care of it. But Libra, something has happened. Well, I made it happen. But something has happened where that damn doll is like Hera. That damn child that I gave to King Charles, a familiar, someone by that river or lake that's so very close to El or Godfather. where that hand of that doll was broken. It's broken. Someone that was given the world, money, bread from heaven, a boot to pull themselves up with, Sagittarius, patience, an angel, a trinity effect, a masterpiece, a bed to lay in, a nice home, had forbidden fruit, clothed, was never kicked out of Eden, was always accepted, was always loved, left alone sometimes because of Job. That is true. But nonetheless, not ever for long. Someone that I provided the rib to, broke the arm, fractured the arm, the hand of that said child. That child that was once connected to a tub, or Valley, or Bidwell, or Catherine, or Aaron, or a Christian follower, or a summoning, or a halo. And the child, though, would have felt pushed out. The child, the stairs, coming down the stairs. Coming down the stairs. It would have hit his head a couple of freaking times. So much so that I don't even know how it survived. But it was just so weird because I saw when I stepped out for a moment. I stepped out for a moment, technically, to have a conversation with Guerrero, a gem, a hidden gem. I don't know if it's a gem of heaven, a warrior. I stepped out for a moment to technically break bread with an energy like that, but that energy has kind of been, they call it Americanized. Some people can call it whitewashed, but it's all a part of eugenics. I stepped out to break bread, to have a meal with that person. When I came back, I wasn't even gone longer than 20 minutes. You know, in the grand scheme of 4 days of creating. A king like being into a father, connected to Hera and Thor and Zeus. Even though I made it happen, I did not know. I can't find a hand. I can't find the hand. I can't find what happened. I don't know. But it doesn't hurt me, right, Libra, because it's just a doll. Even though it was a gift from God, just like that rib, metaphorically speaking. And it came from the highest plane of existence. And it has a purpose to demonstrate a masculine energy's ability to be a father. It doesn't really matter, right, Libra, because it's a doll. But that doll is like the spirit of Hera. Libra, in this instance, is just a familiar. It's just a dog. It's just a beast. Now, you know, those beasts, like I said, with creation, they came before, you know, energies made in somebody's image. The doll would have been made in somebody's image. My daughter. Libra, my daughter. My daughter, temperance. My daughter, patience. My daughter, a virtue, wanted that doll. But you know, it didn't really hurt, right? I was so much more worried about the father energy, the dog ass mother, the king. I was too worried about the big dog to even begin to worry about, you know, how could that dog feel? The dog don't have no feelings. The dog don't have no feelings. It didn't hurt, right? It hurt like hell. It hurt like hell. The thing is, that daughter has like been silenced by Sarah, police, artiste, grandparents, people that have fallen prey to white faith. At the root of it is a lot of people have blood on their hands. At the root of it, the victim is like, I can't even pray. I can't really pray to God. I can't say, dear Lord, because I'm asking my father, a slave, to be there. Yeah, that slave was there from the beginning to the fucking end. Or at least somebody with that same energy. Joseph is Joseph, baby. That person is like, I'm supposed to say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, Libra. They're like, no, I know that ain't true. I just don't want to feel so much pain, so much fucking agony. Person would have felt like dying on the fucking floor. That would have actually been really like a father. But Libra's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's his baby. That's his child. That's his girl. That's his whatever. That's his properties. Right? If I look at the serial number, like a Jewish person, on that damn dog, I'm pretty sure if I check it out, it's way older. Way older than the king. Way older. Do you know when I actually was born? My spirit, my soul, I don't think you really know. You don't have no idea. Libras would be feeling like, well, I gotta pay for everything. I gotta lead, I gotta shepherd, I gotta deliver. Even though it hurt me though, I think the thing that hurt me the most is that when I was trying to break bread with Max or someone Hispanic or Mexican, I was almost locked out. I was almost locked out, Libra. I was like, wow. Luckily, there was like a silver lining of hope. I could see. The door just opened. I don't know, shit. It just opened. I don't know how it opened. I don't know. I'm happy it did. But it's fascinating, right, Libra, to see a childlike energy become a parent. It's like, you just was in diapers your damn self. Now you out here got a baby in diapers, changing diapers. Do you even have the posable thumbs? Can you even do this? Can you even handle this? But it's only been 4 days. Although, because I've taken breaks here and then again. It's been a while. It's been a couple of months. It's been a couple of months to get to this point. I had to take that child away from the king. I had to take it away, and I put it on the altar. Ironically enough, along with nobility, the sun, temperance, coffee of death, the best of the best. I put it there on the altar with Magdalene. I put it there along with a file because I had to elevate it and keep it away from. I had to separate it because he's sleepy. He's sleepy anyways. Anyway, Libra, I just thought it was fascinating because maybe Libras can relate to that or get something out of it. I don't know, but that's all I got. Bye.